Well, we've got one very important news headline to bring you right now. One of our greatest, one of our favorite actors has had, well, an incredible break, but it comes on the back of decades of incredible work. The all-new action-adventure spectacle, and we know it will be so, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, directed by Wes Ball, will hit South African cinema screens nationwide tomorrow. That's the 10th of May. It's a movie that you do not want to miss because there is a very powerful South African connection. But let's take a sneak peek.
Apes hunt humans. That is the law. But I saw in her eyes, the law is wrong.
You choose human over ape. Together, you will die.
No, together, strong.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, joining us right now is the one person in the studio who is more excited than anybody to see what you've just seen, ladies and gentlemen, Neil Sandilands. Oh, so good to have him on the couch after you drove about 5 hours to get you this morning. He left at 2 in the morning because he cares that much about this incredible film. And he has, of course, taken the main role as Koro. I hope I'm saying that well, a very potent role. He's going to correct me in a moment in this third installment of a massive global epic franchise. Neil, thank you so much. Okay, I know you're like the humblest guy on the planet, so correct me, please.
Thank you very much for having me. Wow, after that introduction, I don't know what to say. Well, to be fair, I'm not the lead in this. I play a minute, minuscule, infinitesimal little part in it, but a very important part. So Owen Teague, who is our protagonist and plays the lead, Noah, I'm his dad.
Okay.
Right, Koro. Right. So I set it up, and the legacy of this exchange is what endures throughout the film. I would say it's that moment in time where you know your boy's got to leave the nest, right? And you want him to go, and he must go. But similarly, you want to retain his innocence for just like a fraction.
For sure.
And that's where we meet the two of them. So very delighted to be part of it. But in terms of leads, I must certainly say there's Owen Teague, Freya Allen, Kevin Durant, Peter Macron, and then, Frikkie is ook daar.
And an incredible collaborative effort. When you've got to pull off a mastery like this, when you're working in the CGI space, it requires an actor to find another dimension, I would imagine. How challenging was it bringing this role to life? Talk us through the nuts and bolts of getting stuck into this piece.
Well, it was fascinating. I mean, for starters, we filmed in Australia and in New Zealand. The mocap aspect that you were referring to, you don't get to really work with sets. We did shoot on location, and we had elaborate sets, but they were all in sound stages with green screen, etc., etc. But there was no prosthetics involved, and I think this is what the audience would like to know. It's all, once I do the performance, it's handed over to an entire team of CG specialists and vis effects, and they do all the renders and layers upon layers upon layers. So getting into the ape, we worked with Alain, a Frenchman, and then we had one-on-one sessions with Andy Serkis.
Wow.
So if I had to ask you right now, like behave like a primate or like a monkey or an orangutan, chances are you'll probably do it more or less correctly, right?
Okay, yeah, because
but
we've
now,
got
what
experience.
Alain does is he helps you to deconstruct that so that you can actually understand why you are moving like that. So you become a little bit clumsy, and then we did ape school. I went to ape school as if I needed it.
How did you do in ape school? Because I would
came
imagine you're
straight
an
out
A
of the
plus
womb.
student.
There's a bona fide ape over here. So I was a natural, I suppose. And, I worked for about 2 weeks with the team just at ape school.
Wow.
And then we filmed, and then we had the entire writers' strike, and then we were on hiatus for a little bit, and then in November last year, they flew us back to New Zealand, and we concluded the rest of principal photography.
A journey within a journey. When you see these visuals, I could see your reaction the second that clip came up with a childlike wonder. What is it like seeing your performance go through that, the layers of rendering, taken into this other world? What is it like as an actor seeing yourself, your performance come to bear in that finished product?
It was such a good question. I was fortunate enough to be invited over to attend the premiere, which was at the Chinese Kodak Theatre, or I think it's called simply the Kodak Theatre.
The Kodak, iconic as it is, yeah.
So that was a trip. I mean, I arrived in a big old limo.
You made it!
I go, yeah, here we are. So seeing it in cinema like that, with this just onslaught, this sensory overload, was, I mean, you are blown away by the technological capabilities of what we can do. You know, that was tremendous. Seeing it, I don't know. I'm going to sound a little bit contrived if I say I'm really one of those people who I don't look at my performance, because that's not where my paycheck lies. My paycheck is between action and cut. So
yeah, for sure.
As a rule, I try to not go back and look at performances, because I think it inhibits me.
You've got to let it go. You've got to.
Yeah, it's like,
sure.
Now you hand it over to other people and they make the movie, right? But I did see some of the renders in ADR already, and it was there's really a disconnect there, because obviously I know I was there and I did X, Y, and Z, and then this entire new world comes to life. So it wasn't that personalized for me. It was like, wow, I'm really looking at a chimpanzee there.
That is crazy.
It was obviously my voice. But
well, look, I think Andy Serkis would be one of the first to point out that there was so much nuance behind the performance in that space. So congratulations.
Thank you very much, Graham.
Congratulations, my friend. I think for those, especially young South African actors looking to make their mark, to knock down those doors in Hollywood, you can still stay 100% South African. In fact, you can still keep both feet firmly planted here in South Africa, with incredible results on the biggest stage. And of course, the movie breaks in South Africa tomorrow, The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, with a very powerful, very proud South African connection. Buddy, we are so unbelievably proud of you. The doors that you've knocked down for other actors in this country, it's incredible. So you can ponder that in just a moment, but most importantly, get the popcorn ready and go and see the movie. It promises a mind-blowing experience. Neil, thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you very much for having me, Graham. Thank you, Expresso.